Let's do fun.
Yes.
The Simpsons.
Welcome, everybody, to the As For Your Case, Don't You Worry. I've argued in front of every judge in the state, often as a lawyer, the podcast. Welcome, everybody, to a perfectly cromulent Simpsons show, episode 50. Kind of a milestone.
Oh my God, it's 50?
50, here we go.
50!
That's what happens when you join in at like 42, Kristen. It doesn't feel hard to get to 50.
No, but here we are at 50.
Oh, what a beauty. Hi, guys. I'm Cromulent Jesse. You know me. You've listened to 49 of these up to this point, I'm hoping. If not, this show is about two lifelong Simpsons fans who are going to sound way different from episode 41 to now. But same premise, same exact premise.
But not same person.
A little bit of a tweak. Exactly. Like, we sit here, we talk about an episode of The Simpsons each week. We have a blast at it. We get on a bunch of tangents, and an episode of The Simpsons is 22 minutes long, and sometimes we do these for 90 minutes. So hang with us, talk about The Simpsons because we love it. Hello, Kristen. How are you this evening?
Hello, Jesse. I'm good. Sorry, that was like a lot of I's. It was like I forgot how to talk all of a sudden. I
forget how to talk very often. Sometimes I do the Will Ferrell in Old School, and I just finish, and I'm like, oh, what happened? I blacked out. I don't even remember the whole podcast. I have to listen to it.
When it's really bad, I just do this.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do with my hands. Kristen and I just cut our promo before this, and I basically blacked out for that. So, before we get way into it, you guys check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We've been active. I'm proud of us. This is the part I've been worst at for all the podcasts and stuff. So we've been doing it. It's pretty fun because it's just Simpsons stuff. But find us at Cromulent Show everywhere.
We've been good because we started in December there, and we're just like boom, 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 boom. We're like
Kristen's like advent calendar was like. It got me inspired. I was like, I gotta design stuff. Like, right? Let's do this. Let's fucking do this. If you need to email us for some reason, cromulentshow@gmail.com. I have to, tell us we're wrong. I was gonna say, I have to imagine any email that's coming in is just gonna be negative.
Yeah. Like, you guys were wrong. You guys misquoted this. It's like, yep, I did.
We're gonna. Listen, there are 780 episodes, and I think I've seen 750 of them. So.
Not just that, I think it's too, like, when we start really rambling and we're going, it's like sometimes just the wrong words come out of your mouth, and you realize it like a half 100%. Hour later. You're like, oh, that's not what that was. And you're just like, oh, well, moving on.
Yeah, can't go back for all of them.
We'll have, maybe after so many episodes, we should just sit down and do an apology podcast. We're just like, we won't look any of it up. We'll just sit there and we'll just say, we're sorry. We think we made mistakes.
Perfect. That's 100% perfect. Well, let me jump into some mistakes I'm going to make today. This episode was season 3, episode 15, episode 50 overall. Production code 8F14. This titled Homer Alone. Generally, if it's got like a reference, it's like cheeky. You're like, oh, hi, that's pretty clever. This is just Home Alone. They put it on the end though. This came out February 6th, 1992. The following day would be my 5th birthday.
Aww.
Look at that. I was probably like,
oh, what are we going to do for my birthday tomorrow, Mom?
She was like, watch The Simpsons, dude. It's on right now for free. This episode was written...
Popcorn or Chex Mix or something, whatever's in the
100%. This episode was written by David Stern, directed by Mark Kirkland. The chalkboard gag was, I will not spank others. Why not? Why not?
Okay, so you know what?
As long as they're willing.
I meant to look it up too, because sometimes when they do stuff like that on this show, it's like there's been some big thing on like in the news lately.
Was there a spanking or something?
Yeah,
like a public spanking?
It's like.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think of that at all.
But I remember like how they used to do that though, right? I remember it'd be like some big news story, and like 2 or 3 weeks later, there was The Simpsons calling back that big news story in a cheeky little like winky nod in the chalkboard gag and stuff, right? Sorry, that's my little
No,
tangent.
that's beautiful. That's what this show is. We're making connections. The nostalgia in our minds has got to be out there. That's one thing that Kristen and I have talked about, trying to add a little bit to the show. We already run long, so we're not like trying to bring in entire new segments or anything, but like
No.
some of the things that happened during the time of these shows. So really quick, guest star Phil Hartman. Love.
The god. He's just the god. He's the god.
Here's a fun fact. I use a little website called Simpsons Reference for a lot. Simpsons Archive for a lot of the research I do. Basically, sometimes it'll just be the scaffolding for my outline, so I don't have to type out the whole episode. Here's the
Why
kind
don't
of
you want to
script
do
I
that?
go into. Listen, I'm only a man.
I write like 10 pages of notes for each episode, and I would like to say I'm lying, but I'm not, because I like to write with my pen.
Sometimes I would say this is probably one of the shorter outlines I've done, but that will probably reflect in its score later. What? Preview?
Oh, throwing
One
shade
thing
at the episode.
I love them all, but when you have such high highs,
Yeah.
it's hard for the mids to stand out.
Well, it's like we were saying, we have so many good episodes coming near the end of of season 3 here that you're looking forward to. You're just like, yeah, let's get to that one.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't noticed the pattern, Kristen and I switch off basically, hosting, quote unquote, the episode. And so we record 2 at a time. And the following recording sessions after tonight are like the most banger episodes. I'm so like, everyone is gold. So the ratings are all of a sudden are going to get a much higher average. But okay, anyway. Simpsons Archive in their lineup, because I will do this sometimes. It's very hard because you can't get full episodes of The Simpsons on YouTube. You know what I mean? You got to get like someone's download of it. But in the Simpsons Archive, occasionally, I think it's like 8 or 10 guys who basically do what we do. They don't do a show, they do an outline of the show. And I will go and see if they added anything fun from the time, because some of these were written in like 1996 and stuff. So they have like tapes, whatever, however they did it. There are commercials that he wrote into this. So here are the commercials that stood out to me. There are commercials 3 times for Reebok shoes. Classic.
Reebok.
2 commercials for the Game Boy.
Yep.
Plenty of Fox Married with Children ads.
Oh, gotta be, right? Yeah.
The movie The Great Mouse Detective was also promoted. Fantastic movie for anybody who hasn't seen it. Good early Disney. Not early Disney. Early in my life Disney.
Yeah, I was gonna say early some of us, right?
And a show that I was not familiar with at all. I had to look it up. It's called Drexel's Class. But a young Brittany Murphy was one of the main 5 or 6 cast members in it. So fun little connection there. Brittany Murphy. Hey, everybody.
There we go. I kind of remember that show existing. I don't think it's one I watched, but I kind of remember, when you have like that vague, like I remember seeing promos or something.
100%. This didn't do that for me at all. And I even like went and watched a trailer and parts of one episode, and I was like, nope. This
means nothing.
This ain't in there for me, baby. Okay, so we're finally to the episode. Sorry, no. And the top movie at the box office this week, a controversial one, and it was for 3 weeks in a row. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
It's a good movie, though.
It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch.
It is, but it's like a good like if you like thrillery movies, it is a tough watch. But it's like Rebecca De Mornay in it is like,
that's what I was gonna say. And the movie that was the previous week was Hook.
That's like
America's bipolar.
Going to extremes.
Yeah. Okay, so the episode starts off very much like a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoon. We see Bart running by, and he is put in his Bratis Don't Have a Cowis. That's his scientific name. We then see Homer running, Homo Neanderthalis. In the chase scene, Homer knocks a lamp off the table, sending it crashing into the floor, and Marge comes over and says she's not cleaning it up, but she knows for a goddamn fact that she is, and basically is instantly defeated. So we're like 15 seconds into the episode, and you're already like, oh Marge. Darn it.
Yeah.
Marge cleans it up, goes up and sees Maggie in her crib, does the most mother movements of all time while changing a diaper, flinging the diaper, and then little nappy back into the.
The pro what the pros do, right? What the pros do.
Yeah. As a dad who changed diapers, I would like to say I think I had some pro moves like
I'm
that.
sure you did. I'm sure you did.
The one thing Marge is not pro at is taking away Maggie's pacifier, because like you gotta wean a baby at some point. You want to. You gotta. It's like the best Simpsons impression I could do.
It was great. It was
Thank you,
great.
thank you.
It was perfect.
But Maggie's having a hard time getting rid of that. So Marge finally gets it. Maggie's sucking on a bottle. Marge is changing her, burping her. Maggie hits the little burp. I think, doesn't Marge tell her, like, when you're an adult, you can suck on this pacifier whenever you want? Marge goes down. Like, Marge is like clearly already she's
She's done.
stressed. She's
She doesn't want the
done
day anymore. She's done.
before we even hit this next scene, which is just chaos. And it's like, as somebody who gets very overloaded by more than one voice sensory wise, I'm not saying I have any condition. I can only guess. I've never been diagnosed with anything. But if 3 people are talking to me in a room, I will have a fucking meltdown. So
Like you're sitting there, your eyes twitching.
Yeah, this scene like truly gives me anxiety. I don't even like really want to like try to impersonate it because it's so hard. But basically, Marge is making lunch for everybody. Everybody's shouting, "No crust, no, I don't, no pimentos in my blood. I want double bologna." And I love that it's Homer, and like as a dad who is a Mr. Mom. I know I keep saying like I changed diapers and like, but I've just like I love being involved in my kid's life. Like it's been
you have been a Mr. Mom though. You
Yes.
are that you are that dad, right?
I have enjoyed it thoroughly, and I will fucking fight anybody that's got a problem with it. And I'm a fat boy. I'll just sit on you, brother. We don't even. It's not even gonna be a thing. But I've like. It's funny to me to see Homer being like, Marge. And I know it's a cartoon, but I'm like, oh, Homer, you son of a bitch, just help her out. So Marge basically, she like pokes the pimentos out of Lisa's lunch meat, tells Bart where his hat is. It's behind the toilet.
Yeah,
I'll sew your pants, Homer, and I'm out of bologna. Yeah. Everybody kind of gets the hint, I think, backs off a little bit until Marge is like fully loaded down, going over her to-go list, got the cat in the carrier, Maggie in one arm, and Homer asks her if he could take his bowling ball to Nick's. Oh, it's got this bottle cap stuck in the thumb hole. So
but she
Marge
takes it anyway, though. She takes it because she's like, I'm a trooper, you know?
Yeah. I love that it like she gets the ball and it like fully throws her off balance.
Homer's throwing a heavy ball. He's one of those bowling guys.
Yeah,
it's like, give me the 20-pounder.
He's a 16-pounder. Oh, a 20-pounder. That son of a bee. So he's she agrees to take it to Nick's. She jumps in the car with Bart and Lisa. And Lisa's like, Mom, Bart's making faces at me. And Bart's like, it's a nervous twitch, and I'm a little sensitive about it, if you don't mind. Which I fucking love that. Bart continues to make the faces. Lisa, Bart, quit it. Hey, quit it, Mom. The car suddenly skids in front of Springfield Elementary, and Marge turns around and get out.
It's like one of the most assertives you've ever seen Marge be.
Until like 4 minutes later in this episode on the bridge.
You know? Oh yeah. But like I remember when I rewatched this too, I remember though, like up until like about this point, like Marge characteristically is just like, yep, I'll get it done. Yep, I'm the mom. Yep, I'll do it. Yep.
Very mild mannered.
Yeah, and like, maybe some little like disappointments. Spider-Man. Yeah, maybe some very little disappointments and little annoyances, like she'll like the hmms and stuff, but like never like full on rage like what you get in that scene right there, where it's just like it's like her inner monster came out and just needed to be released.
Yes. They go to the grocery store. Marge grabs fruit leather, imitation orange drink. and I can't decide whether this is cheap or fancy. The Krusty brand duck sausage pizza.
It's
It's
duck
got to be cheap.
sausage.
It's Krusty brand, but duck sausage seems fancy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's probably okay. No, okay. Let's just be real. It's gonna be called duck sausage.
But
Duck
it's crow.
sausage. Yeah, it's the name they came up for the sausage that has nothing to do with the bits that are in
Duck
the
is an
sausage.
acronym.
Yeah, yeah.
Dead,
It's like
ugly crow carcasses.
yeah,
Uh,
something like that, right? Like it's not really that,
it's
but yeah.
DUCC. So Marge leaves the cart alone for a minute, and Maggie starts throwing things out, including a glass jar, which smashes on. My kid did this with a can of or a jar of preserves once.
Oh no! Like just chucked him out of
Yeah,
the
she was like 2 years
buggy.
old and just was like, "Oh, I don't need these blackberry preserves up here with me." Crash. Yeah, just like the most staining berry of all time. So Marge takes the bowling ball to Nick's bowling shop, only to find out that that's not the correct Nick's bowling shop. I haven't flushed a ball in years, and so he sends her to the other Nick's across town, and of course, that is also for some reason not the correct Nick's.
So there's
Um,
another one somewhere.
yeah. I guess there's a third Nick somewhere in Springfield that that Homer didn't just tell her about. So, uh, Marge finally is on her way home. She turns on the radio, and you hear jackhammering, and it's a headache commercial. Like, what a terrible,
I
what
remember
a
those though. Do
terrible
you
thing.
remember those commercials? Like they'd have someone laying in the dark in bed, and there'd be like jackhammers and
Kinda, yeah. It
people
just seems mean,
banging on
though. It
stuff. It
seems
is
mean.
mean. It is
Yeah.
mean. It is mean. Especially if you're watching TV quietly or something and you have a
100%.
headache and then
I,
those sounds come on. I've had it happen to me. That's why I say this to
100%. Or
happen.
there's always like that one commercial that for some reason was 7,000 decibels louder than every other commercial. You're like, yes, I need cheap insurance. My brain, though.
It's like watching you play a video. It's like watching you play a video game and you're really, really quiet for a minute, and then all of a sudden something happens and you get really, really loud, and there's no there's no
Yeah.
noise gate. So we all go
Yeah.
deaf.
Yeah. That's me. That's me. So Marge changes the station because who the fuck wants to listen to a jackhammer? And then we get, it's time for another Bill and Marty classic crank call, where they call him in and tell him that his wife has died, that she walked through a plate glass window. She's bleeding all over the place. Then they just laugh. Marge is clearly upset by this. Marge drives through like what? There's like a bus tailgating her. She's just a whole bunch of bullshit in traffic.
She has the flying head thing going on, right? Where
Yeah. She's going through everything that happened that day.
it's like the dental plan thing too, right? Or like like
Lisa
dental
needs
plan,
braces.
dental
Dental
plan.
plan. Also, Maggie rips the nipple off of her bottle, spilling milk all over the car. Which, God, that would just be terrible. And
Aw.
Homer's dry cleaned bowling uniform. This throws her over the top, and she screams, "No!" And skids the car to a halt in the middle of Springfield Memorial Bridge. Puts the car in park and just chills for a while.
That
Traffic
no
starts.
she does would make a terrific gif. I'm just saying, like that, like she looks like you know what I mean. Like I was just like I'm the way it like shakes and everything itself too. I'm like that needs to be a gif if it's not already. Like somebody
Lisa
better have
needs
already been on of
braces.
it.
Yeah, we'll just get it on Frankiac.
There we
Uh,
go.
let's see here. I trying to remember the other things that happen. It doesn't matter so much though. But
Oh no, yeah. There's the bus, right? And then she's going through the things in her mind. I think the bus is flashing his lights at her too. Like it's not even just that he's like uh tailgating her. It's like annoyingly tailgating her
yeah,
too.
I was just getting to the spot in the episode. But yeah, that's exactly it. That's the one that kind of sets it. Then the milk spills, and then the bus driver gets off, and she's like, "What's this? Better be good, lady." And that's when she has a literal lion's roar. It's just like, okay, lady, this better be good. Then we cut to Arnie Pie with Arnie in the sky.
Oh,
We
I
got
love
big problems
Arnie.
on the Springfield Memorial Bridge, people. What's he say? Like, also look out on E and 14th because I just dropped my bagel.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments, and I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why I love it so much, but I do love that moment in
Because you
all
can
of
imagine
Simpsons.
someone harmlessly getting like, ow, what the was that a bagel? It should have been Lenny, and he should have been said, ow, I'm not supposed to get bagels in my eyes.
Yes.
You're welcome. Just go back 20 32 years. Damn it, I'm old. Okay. So I'm just going to move on here. Traffic is like getting stacked up in both directions because Marge is kind of blocking it both ways. It's 14th and Elm, by the way. That's where the Bagels farm.
There we go.
I said E in 14th. I don't know why.
Close enough.
Eddie comes up to Chief Wiggum. She's like, she's locked in the car and refuses to move. Did you flash your lights? Yes. Well, I'm fresh out of ideas. Otto takes the opportunity to sunbathe on top of his bus. A mobster yells, "Come on, I've got a body in the trunk." But it's like not Fat Tony. It's like
No, it's some other
Fat Tony. Can't remember if Fat Tony's appeared yet.
I don't think so.
We spent 5 years between the episodes of shows. So
I'm trying to remember which one happens where like
Bart works for them.
Yeah,
I think we've
Bart
had
works
that
for
one.
them.
I think
Okay.
we've done that one. So Fat Tony is a thing.
But he's also not like I don't think he's like a staple thing yet that shows up like because this is back in the day where they used to rotate characters out and maybe not ever bring them back in. And then they got into the thing where it's like, oh no, we're just going to keep bringing these guys back. They're going to be hidden in the backgrounds and all that stuff. Like that's, it takes a while before we get to that time.
Original name was Ralph Mellish.
Here we go.
So, lost my
Krusty and Mr. Genie are in the car.
Yeah, that's it. Stop screwing with the car radio. Arnie is joined by Kent Brockman, who's going to be lowered from the helicopter. He's like got a helmet-mounted camera, and he's like, "I'm going to get an exclusive interview." And the line lets out too far, and he shoots past the bridge and just starts slamming into the side of it. They start pulling him back up too, and he's just like bouncing off it. It's very when they lift Homer out of the ravine.
Yes, the bounce all the way up.
Homer is watching the report on the television. I like he's like messing with his coworker. He's like, "Guess she's not getting enough." And then he sees that it's the unappreciated housewife in question is Marge. It's just Marge.
Yeah.
Homer gets there and Homer's his way to the front. Chief Wiggum,
his way to the front.
Yeah. Chief Wiggum gives him the megaphone to talk to Marge. He's like, "Try to talk her out of there. But don't put your lips on it or anything."
Really quickly, I do like that the caution tape isn't just caution tape. It actually says distressed housewife or something that on it.
Oh my gosh, I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's like if you I'll just like it's so it doesn't say caution. It says, I'll tell you exactly what it says. I'll just let me double check.
They have distressed housewife caution
it's like,
tape.
distressed mother, please stand back. That's what it says.
Awesome.
Distressed mother, please stand back. So it's not even caution tape.
That's terrific.
It's great, right? I love it. It also implies that this happens in Springfield once in a while.
Yeah.
Like this is not an isolated incident.
Right.
They have a special tape just for it.
Well, they do take up in like torch and pitchfork mobs pretty often. So
it's true.
You wouldn't be shocked.
No.
So Homer's trying to talk Marge out of the car, and he's like, "Hello, is this thing on? Hello." And Marge like recognizes him. Homer's like, "What should I say?" Oh, because she says, "Homer, is that you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, what should I say? And Wiggum's like, "Well, how about, yes, it's me." And then Homer turns around and says, "Yes, it's me." Homer eventually talks her out of the car. The two embrace, and then cuff her, boys. Marge gets a mugshot and then a second one of her hair. Marge is in a smoke-filled room where Quimby is like, "Let Marge go. If Marge Simpson goes to jail, I can kiss the chick vote goodbye." Marge is just so powerful in the woman community around town that Quimby's like, "There's no way we can't do this.
We can't book her. We
This
can't
is
keep
political suicide. I have to be mayor of this town for the next 37 seasons."
Well, you know what? To your Marge's power thing. When she's getting the mugshot done too, the female police officer taking it is all like, "We understand what you fit. Like we're with you."
Oh yeah, the gal's on the force. Yeah. Can you think you could loosen my cuffs? No.
No, but she does give her a little bit of. I mean, and that's such a Springfield move, right? Like we support you. Could you help me? No, but we support you.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, Quimby and Wiggum throw some threats back and forth, but basically, Mayor Quimby's like, I'll do anything I can. You bite me, I'll bite back. And then he's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? You could talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? And then the next scene is Quimby declaring it Marge Simpson Day in Springfield. Yeah, arrest her now.
You want your own day declared in a town? Have a freak out and park your car on a bridge, right?
But only if you can get the chick vote ruined to Quimby. And so
Yep.
it pans out from that press conference and we see Homer and Marge watching it in bed. And Homer's like, oh, well, all's well that ends well. Just rolls over.
He's done. She's home. Everything. She's
Yeah.
safe. Everything go back to normal.
We're 7 minutes into the episode and it's just ready for So Marge is watching TV and she sees an advertisement for Rancho Relaxo, Springfield's only 2-star health spa, where you can swim, play tennis, or just sit there and stare at walls.
My question: is there a 3 or a 4-star? So this is only the 2-star.
I wouldn't be asking questions like that. Listen,
or is the 2-star the highest Springfield can do?
Don't go asking questions you don't want the answer to, Kristen. Okay, don't do it. She shuts off the television and wakes up Homer, telling her that she needs a vacation. And I like that Homer instantly tries to talk her out of it. We just took a family vacation. And Marge's like, well, I need to unwind. He's like, I know you do, but come on, you know what our vacations are like. Those 3 monsters in the backseat. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And let's face it, I'm no day at the beach either. Marge, can I have another sandwich? Marge, can I have another sandwich? Marge interjects, telling her she means a vacation by herself. Homer thinks she's asking for a divorce, and she's like, no, not at all. Come on, stupid idiot. But so he's he agrees to it, and we see Bart and Lisa out inside the station wagon, noses pressed against the glass. And they're clearly being held hostage. I also like that at Rancho Relaxo, it's Don Quixote looking,
riding a horse
and conquistador playing tennis and sitting in the hot tub.
Remember, you can't spell relaxo without relax. Right?
Pretty great.
It's so great. Relaxo. Can't spell relaxo without relax. I can't say it smoothly. I'm sorry. I'm the worst.
That's all right. I know what you mean. We've all seen the episode if we're here.
Bart and Simpson. Bart and Lisa are going to stay with Selma and Patty, right? So they're horrified.
Yeah.
They're not happy about this.
They know what's about to happen. I like that once Homer goes to sleep though, Marge is still just sitting up in bed, eyes wide open.
I've definitely been that stressed out, and my anxiety has definitely been that bad where you're just like, yes, I'd love to sleep now, but we're just going to sit here. Yeah. This is us.
That's exactly what it is. And then it cuts to, again, Bart and Lisa in the car with their faces pressed against the glass, and Patty and Selma being like, oh, we've got 6 months of maternity leave and we're never going to use it. So they've obviously agreed to stay or to take care of Bart and Lisa and Maggie. But when Homer comes out with Maggie, she holds onto the door frame, and Homer doesn't.
She's clever.
Yeah, Homer doesn't have strength enough to pull her from the door frame. He's got his foot up on it, tugging and still can't get her out.
Hey, little kids be strong sometimes. You should know that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I've had my beard pulled more than once.
Right?
Yeah, and then Marge is like, well, if she clearly doesn't want to go, why don't you just keep her here? And Patty and Selma are like, oh, he'll trade her for a nudie magazine. And he's like, for your information, I could take care of as he's dropping her. So we cut to the train station where Homer's chasing down Marge in the classic, by the train. What does he say? How do I use the pressure cooker? You don't. So Homer and Maggie. Oh yeah. At Rancho Relaxo, it's like, this is KOMA or WKOMA, restful, easy, relaxing listening. Coming up next, a super set of songs about clouds.
Right.
So Marge is signing in and getting her getting her spot. Homer's at home eating a hoagie on
The
the
hoagie.
couch already,
It looks delicious.
while Maggie's doing the like cup against the bars. I'm clearly starving in here. Homer's like goes in and Maggie points to the picture and he's like, "Oh, sorry, Maggie, mommy went crazy." Then we cut to Patty and Selma's place where Selma's like, "Kids, you haven't even touched your tongue sandwiches. Do you need something to
Oh,
drink? We've got Clamato, Mr. Pibb, and soy milk."
Clamato, dude.
Dude,
Clamato.
I remember, so I had a friend growing up who we'd always go stay at his mom's house, and his dad's house were much different. His mom's house is like that, where it was like, "What do you have to drink?" And it would always be like, "Oh, it's like soy milk and
Oh,
like carbonated non-flavored water." And it was always like, "Wait, what the there's nothing normal in here, dude. I'll drink sink water, thanks."
yeah. It's like you don't even have Kool-Aid. Like you don't even have like a
Yeah.
package of like
Yeah, yeah.
sugar-free Kool-Aid.
Right.
Even
That's
like
fine. It's fine.
you
I'll
got
take it.
nothing.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Lisa realizes that the drink choices are disgusting and says, "I think I'll just hit the hay." Selma's like, "It's 12:30 in the afternoon." She's like, "I'm aware of the time." Uh, that's when they get keyed in on the sleeping arrangements, where Lisa will be sleeping with Selma, Bart will be sleeping with Patty, and I'm told, and I should warn you, I'm told I snore. Patty and Selma leave to watch Divorce Court, and Bart and Lisa hold hands, telling each other that they're afraid. Lisa says, "You think you know fear? I've seen him naked." Bart's like, "What?" We come back to Rancho Relaxo, where Marge turns on the television in her room. It's a videotape prepared. It's like one of the it feels like an interactive menu type hotel thing,
They're
and it's on.
beautiful, and it's
Right.
beautiful because you know who's coming, right? Like,
Yeah,
as soon
yeah,
as, you know, like, as soon as you see get one frame in, you're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. I know who's gonna show up.
yeah. Yep. I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such movies as Today We Kill, Tomorrow We Die, and Gladys the Groovy Mule. Our tour starts in your very room, where Relaxo Vision offers you the latest Hollywood hits, and after midnight, the finest R-rated movies Europe has to offer. Today's selections are Thelma and Louise, The Happy Little Elves Meet Fuzzy Snuggleduck, and The Erotic Awakening of S. uh Goes back to Troy, where he's paying a visit to the kitchen. He's getting a massage, and Marge is like, "All right, I gotta relax. Troy McClure is telling me to." So she calls in and begins her like true relaxation journey. I do like the finest R-rated movies that Europe has to offer.
It's great. It's great. Because sometimes Europe makes some really interesting stuff. The erotic awakening of S though should give you a pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, Gregory, where have you been all my life?
It's a spa, right? It's not like she's just like at a hotel. She's at because like when they go through the food and stuff like that too, it's like, yeah, this tastes great, and it's only like 15 calories, and
Yeah.
you know,
It's like
it's like a health
an
spa. It's like a
extended
health
stay
spa.
health spa that
Yeah,
does what it seems
right. Like
like.
you're there to relax and get healthy, and I mean, that's what people do in places like California and stuff like
Right.
that, right? You go to health spas in the mountains, and I mean,
What,
I think in some other places they have them out in like the desert, like in the middle of nowhere in the desert too. Like they have
right.
those
Those
ones
ones
where
are
it's
run
like
by cults, as far as I know. But yeah, totally. Huh. We cut
sorry.
back to the Simpson. No. We cut back to the Simpson residence, where Homer's like trying to feed Maggie strained peas, and she won't take it too. So he eats it. Ow, ow. He turns and throws it down on the table, where we see like 12 strewn baby food canisters on. So like, and listen, baby food is
Homer's eating
delicious.
good.
Yeah,
Homer's eating good though.
baby food is good. Um, but not strained peas. So I like that Homer like gets up from the couch and Maggie's just like underneath him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he
Yeah,
puts on her diaper with a staple gun.
he is okay, look it.
He's
He is
trying.
trying. Like, it's
He's
not
got
like he's
the
just
puppet show.
abandoned her in like a jolly jumper or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does
He's
the
trying.
puppet show, but gets attacked by Santa's little helper. Uh, Maggie applauds that. Like that's one thing she
That's
does
when she's
like.
happy. But
Yep.
remember,
And
there is that episode where Maggie's influenced by cartoons
yeah,
to
that's
do
true. That's
violence.
true.
So Maggie's always had a a love of comedic violence, right?
Yes.
It's always been Maggie's thing.
100%. She's probably the smartest Simpson, and that's the problem is we don't realize it.
That's true.
Uh, so back at Rancho Relaxo, Marge is getting a massage from none other than Gregory. Um, and it seems like I'm glad I flunked out of that Mexican med school. Uh, Barney pays Homer a visit at Homer's request. Barney spots the baby. Wow, if it isn't little Bart. Uh, well, someone smells stinky. Oh, it's me. Um, at bedtime, Bart is rummaging through Patty and Selma's closet. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bart produces a bra. Ay caramba! He shoots Lisa with a blackhead gun.
Yeah.
Ew! The twins go back to watching TV. The best MacGyver ever.
Oh
Richard
yeah, because
Dean Anderson will be in my dreams tonight.
they love MacGyver, don't they? They
Oh
love him.
yeah, so gross. How if I had to share a bed with my gross aunt, and she was talking about having sexy dreams.
Extremes about
I'd be
MacGyver.
like,
I mean,
I'll go sleep on the couch.
and I mean, Bart and Lisa, like the faces they have on as they're all like as it does the here's everybody in bed. They're terrified. Like
Yeah.
they're not happy.
Yeah. It's staying at that relative's house where you're just not very comfortable. You're
Oh
like, you don't even want to get up to go pee first in the morning because you're like, am I
no.
allowed? Like, how does that? What's that? What's the deal there? How's that work?
And heaven forbid that you actually wake up and you actually need water and you're like, do I just go get it myself? Do I?
Yeah. I also
And
like
like
that.
even as an adult, sometimes when you stay at those people's houses, you're like, well, I'm an adult. I can go get that glass of water. And then you still sit there for 5 or 10 minutes
Right?
thinking, can I
Right?
go
Can't
get
I?
that glass of water?
I like that the like one click into them sleeping, Selma's already like snoring like she's got the worst case of apnea possible. We cut back to Rancho Relaxo, and Marge is like curling up into her bed before she realizes she has the whole bed herself, so she gets to stretch out.
Starfish.
You know what's
Gets to
funny
be a
is I totally
starfish.
hate sleeping alone. Like now that for like years I've slept next to my wife, when
Is it
I am
weird?
alone, I'm like, I always have to like stack up pillows and put my arm
Oh,
around them and
I
shit.
get
Like
you.
I need I need the bed filled. I have no like I'm a big dude too, but I mean I just sleep on my side with my arm like this. That's why my shoulder hurts all the time. My
I'm a
shoulder
side
is
sleep.
truly just trash from.
I'm a
I'm basically a side sleeper, but it's like a front side with the arm straight over my head.
so I curl up. I mean, like so like I like curl up with my hands like in like so like my shoulders wrapped around on my side. So I like
Ah, little fetal
hyper
position, huh?
yeah, like that's my go-to. And my shoulder is like I hyperextended at night or whatever, right? Because I'm rolling over on it. So my shoulder too, my friend. We are trash shoulder
You just
people.
look way more adorable.
Like
And I'm all like Selma.
right?
So they are Homer's trying to sing Maggie to sleep, and Maggie's just like staying up throughout the whole thing. What is he singing her again? I can't even remember.
Hang on, I got it here. Go to sleep and good night.
Oh, that's
Da da
right. I
da
was thinking,
da 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 da.
yeah, you like
It's
can't
not even
remember
like
any of the words.
DDD. Yeah, go to sleep and good night. Da da da
Yeah,
da da
yeah.
da.
And a
It's
happy holidays.
it's like one of those things where it's like you can tell this person never does the nursery
Right,
rhymes,
right, right,
you
right.
know. And may your Christmas day be
Right, that's what it was. So after Homer leaves the room, Maggie just looks up at the picture of Marge and climbs out of her crib and across the kitchen floor over Barney, and then
Aw.
crawls out the doggy door and spots something tall and blue, but it's a bush. She keeps walking down the street until she disappears into the darkness. Maggie gets in, or Homer finally gets into Maggie's room for her 9 a.m. feeding. It's 11:45, but she's gone. Dude, that's terrifying.
It's like she's been in bed since like
Right, right.
probably
If you,
like let's guess like what, like 8 o'clock or
yeah,
something
like
like
let's say
that.
like the last 15 hours. So Homer searches everywhere, and Barney announces that he's going to make a breakfast omelet with 2 types of cheese. But Homer would prefer help looking for the baby. Barney thinks he's found Maggie underneath the front stoop, but he pulls with all of his might. Barney, you're gonna rip her arm off. The sooner I get her out, the sooner we can have omelets. And Barney finally pulls it free, and it's actually just a water pipe, so it starts spraying directly into the Simpsons foyer.
Of course it does.
Yeah,
Of course
yeah,
it does.
yeah. We see Maggie wandering through the Springfield Mall, Nick's bowling shop, and she spots a
All the
tall blue
places
hairdo and beauty salon. Yes.
all the places she goes with her mom when she's with her
Yes,
mom, right? All
yes,
those places.
exactly right. And nobody saw a fucking baby walking around.
People are just
Uh,
minding their own business,
yeah, it's
okay?
true.
Maybe
It's
that
called the
baby it was the early 90s. Kids were still allowed to go places without
2-year-olds.
adults back then, all right? So they were just minding their own business.
It's called the bystander effect. Damn it. Um, Maggie's gonna continue her journey. She's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna find my mom."
She's a tough
Ho-
baby. She's a
yeah.
tough baby.
Homer calls the Department of Missing Babies, and they put him on a hold. And the song played is "Baby Come Back, Baby Come Back." Yeah. Homer sends Homer immediately into crying. Uh, we go back to
It would.
Rancho. Yeah,
It
like
would.
finally Homer's realizing the error of his ways, right?
Yeah,
Um,
like he's like, "I fucked up." Sorry, I dropped the first F bomb.
oh man, Kristen,
I just
neither of
I
us had
just
said it yet.
No, we've
Oh.
been really good, and then I was like, "Damn it!" I was like, it started coming out my mouth. I'm like, "It's too late." But we were
Fart
we were
damn
on a
poops,
we were on a no swearing kind of thing going on.
piss
It was
damn hell.
interesting. But no, but he realizes, right? Like he's like, and I imagine somewhere inside of him too. He's like, I was given one job, take
Well, I like that
care
he
of the
looks like what's he
baby.
look? He looks in the chimney for her. He
Yeah, like
looks under Barney in the
under
laundry
Barney.
hamper,
Yeah,
in the
like
vacuum bag, like he might have vacuumed her up.
just
That's also pretty
crazy
fantastic.
people places.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you got to check. You got to be sure.
Yes.
Um, so we get back to Rancho Relaxo, where Marge is going down a checklist: bungee jumping, kayaking, calligraphy, cigar making, hula dancing. Guess I've done everything. She relaxes in a grass skirt and coconuts.
But she looks relaxed though. Like she
Yeah.
actually looks like she's decompressed. You
Yes.
know. You know.
Um, she.
The video.
Oh, that's right. The videotape message continues. Troy tells Marge, "The next step is up to you." As I said to Dolores Montenegro in Calling All Quakers, "Have it your way, baby." And then Troy hang glides off a cliff.
Like above Rancho Relaxa, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He's like, how picturesque is this? You can, and I like it that it implies you can do whatever you want now
Yeah.
here. Like, just tell us. He says too, he's like, you tell us, right? He says, you tell us,
Oh man.
what do you want, right? So it's
Yep. So
good.
Marge calls room service and orders a hot fudge sundae with whipped cream, some chocolate chip cheesecake, and a bottle of tequila.
What a way to top it off, the bottle of tequila.
Yeah, that's so great. I love liquor and dairy. It's probably my favorite combination. So Marge jumps into the tub, watching Thelma and Louise, which we heard earlier was one of the movies of the week.
Yep.
She takes a bite of her sundae, sinks underwater, and it does the like Marge's hair falls down, like and goes like long blue hair Marge.
I think this every time they do a scene like that with her, where her hair comes down to it, and it's like
You're
she
like,
goes from
just wear
being
it
like,
like that.
yeah, she like goes from being mom with a beehive to like this like kind of I'm gonna call her beautiful, like
That's
goddessy type,
okay.
because they always give her like really flowing hair when it's down, right? And it's like she goes into this like beautiful, very goddessy looking
You can call her
happiness.
beautiful. This is literally not a joke. You're probably aware of it, but if you're not, Marge has a Playboy spread. Marge was in Playboy. That's not a joke. So do with that what you will. Google your little
And
hearts out, everybody.
everybody's like, thanks for the visual, Jesse.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
And
just
then some people are like,
saying.
actually, yes, thank you for the visual, Jesse. That's awesome.
You're welcome, weirdos. um,
Oh,
so yes, Marge does look completely different. She's it's definitely, but it sells it's the juxtaposition, right? Like
yeah,
stressed
it
out
sells she's
Marge
actually
it's like
relaxed now.
high, you know,
High and tight, and
high
she's
and tight.
stressed
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
And now it's like flowing, and she's like
100%.
soaking in a bathtub, like with her sundae, and she's just totally. And they also give her a smile at that point where she's like, it's just like you can see that she's actually released her like messed up stress that she had from everything. Because like,
Yes.
and as being a stay at home parent can like even like no matter what, it can be one of the most stressful things ever because you're at home with those
Yeah.
kids
I always tell people it was the
all
hardest
day,
job I ever did.
right? Like like I know people that have done that too, and there's like, oh my god, it's an adult. Can we have an adult conversation? Actually, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you said that to me one day. Even like you were like, good. You're the first adult I've talked to all day because I think
Yeah.
I think your wife was away or something like that week, and
Yeah.
I was like, hi, and you're like, hello.
That's still the case sometimes.
And it's not that you don't love your children. It's just it can be a lot, right?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it can be a lot.
100%. And that's when you find out Homer goes to Patty and Selma's to see if Bart and Lisa have seen Maggie, and they cling on to his leg, like they complain about
Yeah.
him until
But they're like, I love you so much.
yes, exactly. Please
Never
don't leave
leave us
us.
again. Yeah.
But Homer's got to go. He's looking for Maggie and Selma. Come on, kids! It's time for to rub Aunt Patty's feet. They both just shudder. Maggie spots a shadow of a tall hairdo, but it's just a beef eater trying to hawk a lube job shop.
Yeah.
You want your oil change? What's he says? Like, come right here, governor.
That
And
was
the guy passing
that
by
was
says,
great.
don't touch me.
I feel like you're British now. Like
Thank you, appreciate it. All you
Oh,
UK people, let me know.
because it's Buckingham quick lube or whatever. That's what, like why would you okay, my question is why do you name your quick lube place Buckingham Palace Quick Lube?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Hello, governor. Buckingham Palace Quick Lube. Yeah, it is just royal purple with the crown on it.
Yeah.
I just like the
Yeah,
guy.
because it's got an actual crown on the top
Yeah,
too, doesn't
yeah,
it? Yeah,
yeah.
it does. It does.
I love the don't touch me. Uh,
Yeah.
Homer then cries, but he answers the phone, normal. You don't want to sound like you're crying when you answer the phone.
Well, you can't find your child. You don't necessarily want
Right.
anybody else to know, right?
Right, especially when it's Marge telling you that she feels much better. Homer asks how she'd feel if the dog ran away. And she's like, "That's awful." But Homer has some good news for her. The dog didn't run away.
I like how he's like, I'm gonna test the water with the
Right.
dog.
But she says she's coming home. You can pick me up at the train station in an hour and bring the kids. Bye. Doesn't even give him a chance.
No.
We see Chief Wiggum talking through a megaphone. Please don't jump. I know you're going through some tough times, but you have your whole life ahead of you. And it pans up to show Maggie sleeping atop Phineas Cube Butterfats, where there's just a ice cream cone with blue ice cream swirled up, and it just looks like Marge. And she's just napping up there.
She's napping because she can't find her moms, and this reminds her of her moms. And
Just a fun
gonna
little
nap
adventure
now.
Maggie's been on, huh? Homer is trying to plan his excuse for when Marge gets home. Marge, Maggie was very young, and it's not like we got so attached to her. He answers the door, and it's Chief Wiggum. Homer is thrilled, but Wiggum says he's wanted on 3 counts of criminal neglect. Like, basically, can you describe the baby? She's a girl. Bingo! He's wanted on 3 counts of criminal neglect. Homer's so happy he kisses Chief Wiggum, and Wiggum's like, nah, shucks. Yeah, just don't do it again, you big lug.
It's so Chief Wiggum too, right?
Yeah.
Like, aw.
He just turns into a teenage girl.
Yeah.
So Homer's like, duct tapes Maggie into the backseat of the car, then picks up Bart and Lisa and walks out of the Patty and Selma's apartment with each of them on one of his legs.
Yeah.
He has to kick them into the back seat. um, then on the train, Marge looking at a wallet photo of everybody and just
And they're
like,
perfect. They're
yeah,
perfect in that
exactly.
photo.
And that never happens. That's like there's been the
Have you
Bone
been trying
Storm
to get a
episode is all about how Bart fucks up every photo they're in.
Have
So
you been trying to get a perfect photo of your family and it's tricky?
what's funny is I have one that I really like of us at the zoo like 7 years ago, and I always say it's the best photo of us. We're all just like smiling truly.
Everyone's looking at the camera. No
My kids
one's
are like
pulling a
3
silly
and 4.
face.
They're 9 and 10 now.
Oh.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Tell them they're the ones fucking up all the photos. Um, so Marge is jumps off
She
the
looks at the photo.
train. Yeah, runs everybody, and they're all, I miss you. I
And they're
miss you."
beat up too, right? Like they don't even look like she had this perfect photo of them and they look disheveled. Like
Yes, yes.
they're beat up.
It's been a minute. So she hugs, they all yell, and then it cuts to Marge in bed telling Homer that she wants him to help a little more around the house. Homer agrees to that, and she continues to her requests, but Bart interrupts. And then you see that everybody is in the bed.
Aww.
Bart says, Mom, I think I speak for everyone in this bed when I say you have nothing to worry about. Now let's try to get a little shut eye, okay? And he turns off the light and everybody sighs and goes to sleep. Maggie blinks twice and then shuts her eyes. And
Aw.
that's when we get a little. So kind of burned through this episode, but
It's a fair burn. It's fine.
yeah, like I don't feel like I missed anything. You know what I mean? Like
No.
some just require many stops, and this one just did not.
Some of them have so many visual. I think some of the thing too is that some of them have so many visual gags happening in the background, like false names of things and all these
Yes.
things that you can pick apart. This one again, you know what? This is like that other one. I don't remember what episode maybe it was the I Marry Marge episode. I can't remember, where a lot of the shots are really really tight. Like it's not showing a lot of background. Like it's a lot of just headshots and
Like
things like that.
just
This
directed
one,
by someone different, you know?
yeah. So it's like more of that type of framing in this one again. So there's not a lot of filler, like little filler things around the edges that you can pick apart and be like, haha, look at the name of that movie.
Wonder
You
if
know what I
that's a
mean? Like,
wonder if that's a Mark Kirkland thing.
oh, maybe. Don't forget our sorry, I'm not trying to direct you. Character, yeah, you did it.
That's what I
Yeah.
was reaching for just then.
Champion. You're a
So
champion.
don't forget when you're watching these two that you can watch them in 4:3 and you won't miss top and bottom stuff.
Bottom.
Because when you're
Yep.
doing the widescreen, it's cutting top and bottom stuff off pretty heavily, and you might
Yep.
miss visual gags. You can change that in the settings. If even on Disney Plus has it, everybody. So if you're
Yeah,
watching
they
the
have it.
first, I think 14 seasons is in 4:3, or maybe it's only 10. Whatever. You
It's a
can
long
watch the
time. It
ones
doesn't
that are,
matter.
yeah, exactly. Do you want to rate it now, or should we do the profile trivia then
Let's do
rate
the
it?
profile and stuff like that and
Okay,
then rate it
okay.
after.
Well, oh, you think I'm gonna bring it down? What's happening here? So soon I will start posting all of the episodes we've done up to this point, doing posts of what we rated them, just to kind of remind everybody. I honestly I meant to do it before we got started, but I didn't. So it is an audio, or it is like a photo medium. So I might do some TikTok posts, something where we talk it out. But I want to get all of our past ratings out there so you can kind of see where we're at. I will say one thing about all of my ratings before we get to them. I'm going to do this other stuff, but I've looked at them and I've been like, man, it seems like I'm being tough on them, but it's because I want greatness to shine through. So there's some fun facts and statistics that I've pulled up with them that I'll put those out in some posts and it'll be fun. But maybe I'll do
curious.
maybe I'll do a reading like this we can share too for something like
Yeah.
that.
I'm curious though. Like, you know what I was thinking of, because I was thinking about the ratings thing the other night. I'm curious, like if you went through and looked at certain directors or certain writers, if there's like a
That's
pattern there.
100% like the next project. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's 100%. Yeah, that is a
Like, is there a style or a sense of humor that happens with some of them that you're like, yes, that's the one. You know what I mean, right? It's like,
yeah. Oh, 100% I do.
oh,
100% I do. I'll give you a couple really quick statistics for
okay.
season 1. the show averaged a 2.98. Now remember that's out of 4, so like
It's
it's
good.
a fair rating. Season 1 was one of the tougher ones too because
Yeah.
early animation, still figuring some stuff out. We the only other one we finished is season 2, which finished at a 3.28.
So a little bit, it came up.
And what's funny about the 3.28 is that both Greg was the old host of this for anybody that doesn't know. Greg and my ratings were exactly 3.28 each. So we averaged out over
Ooh.
22 episodes. I rated 2 5-star 5-finger episodes. He rated 1, and we came out to a 3.28 total, which gave the season a 3.28. That's also factored in. We had a few guests that those scores aren't factored in to the overall, but we have had some guests. So just some fun statistics for you before we get to ratings. But this episode, we have a Simpsons book that we use. You guys have probably heard us talk about it all the time. It's the Simpsons World Ultimate Simpsons Episode Guide, seasons 1 through 20. So eventually we won't get to use this anymore. But this might be the character that has appeared the least amount in an episode that is getting a character profile, and I think you'll be excited. Let me give you 3 guesses as to who the character profile is. Think of everybody that appeared in this episode. I will give you one hint and say that it is not a one-off character. It's someone that you for sure will see again.
It's not Troy McClure, is it?
It's not Troy McClure, is it?
Okay, I felt like that was too easy. Like I'm like it's not gonna be Troy McClure, even though that would be fine. Someone we saw in this episode that we haven't seen a lot.
And you can give up too. Don't feel like you got to sit here.
No, let me take like
Okay.
one more guess. I'm just thinking. I'm trying. You know, actually, what I'm doing, I'm trying to remember which ones I know you've done.
Well, there's like 49.
Is it Wiggum? Is it
It's
Wiggum?
not Wiggum. You want to know?
Yeah, tell me who it is.
This episode's character profile is Mr. Teeny. His occupation is trained chimp on the Krusty the Clown show. His chief vice is chain smoking.
Yep.
His chief goal is driving Krusty crazy. He enjoys futzing with things he has no right to futz with. And he aspires to something more. That is your Mr. Teeny character profile from the Simpsons World Ultimate Simpsons Guide.
Very nice. Very nice. That's great.
We've been doing trivia questions. I have the card, so Kristen has been tasked with being the one that has to answer the questions. Some of these give multiple choice, which makes it just way too easy. So
you take out the multiple choice.
Yeah, we're going to take out the multiple choice unless you need it. Okay, this one I do not think you will know off the bat, but I will just give you the question, let you see if you know it, then I'll give you multiple choice. Who owns the Springfield doorbell shop?
I don't know that one. I definitely don't know that one.
Mr. Push Button, Senor Ding Dong, or the Chuck Clacker?
I really want it to be Senor Ding Dong.
Is that your final answer?
Ding Dong? Yeah, that's my final answer.
Senor Ding Dong.
Yes.
I don't know that you've ever missed one, Kristen.
I feel like I remember an episode where they say Senor Ding Dong. That's why I was like, I really want it to be Senor Ding Dong.
Here's what's crazy is I'm not going to change it because it's on the same card. But guess what the next question is? What is the name of Krusty's monkey?
Oh, Mr. Teeny, right?
Yeah. How weird is that? How weird. He was just the character. I've been pulling the cards just in order and moving them to the back. Like that's all I'm doing. So
and we literally were just watching that one.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
And we just did the character. Oh yeah. Like so many. So he appeared in this episode. We did the character bio for him for this episode. I was it was like fated.
It was fate. So this episode, you want to rate the dang thing?
Yeah, let's rate it. Let's rate it.
I rated this episode a 2.6. I don't think that's a terrible score, and that's me saying this is not a it's clearly not a terrible episode. It's just me saying that, like, when I sat down to watch this one, when I first did my outline, I was like, I don't remember a lot about this, and that kind of made me excited because I was like, a season 3 episode that I don't really like remember a lot about, like, cool. And then I watched it and I was like, oh no, I remember all of it. I remembered all that. Yep. Okay. Very good. There was just nothing that you know, it might be someone's favorite episode. I don't know. But I just think that you can't have 22 episode seasons without kind of having some mid-season fillers. This is the 15th episode of a 22 episode season where we 100% over the next 8 episodes have 7
Really great ones.
that should be just getting some pretty high ratings. So I gave it a 2.6. I don't, I think my reasoning is clear. That's all.
I think
I have spoken.
I think you were more generous than I was.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
I was like, at first I thought 2, and then I thought no, 2.1. I'm going to tell you why I bumped it up to the 0.1, but let me explain my reasoning first. Okay. So definitely not one of my most favorite episodes. Okay. I've always felt like it was an episode that was a filler episode. It didn't have a lot of punchy jokes. It didn't like I like the episodes where there's a lot of like quick the rapid fire like sight gags and jokes and stuff and the like layered on top of layered ones. I really enjoy those ones. This one is one of those kind of in a way, it's a more heartfelt one, which I don't hate. I don't hate the heartfelt episodes. It's just this one really is. It's like poor Marge, and even back in the day when it first aired, it was like very much this thing where it's like, look at this poor woman who's super stressed out and needs help. And the thing is, at the end of the episode, you don't know ain't nobody gonna really help her, even though they have all agreed to. They're not.
We know there's 35 more seasons of the show that tell us that that's absolutely not true.
But like, for me, I was just like, there wasn't like I know the episode and there's lots of parts I remember. The only parts that ever stand out in my head is that there's a Troy McClure appearance where he does the video for Rancho Relaxo. And before rewatching this, if you had asked me what I knew about this episode, I would have been like, there's a Troy McClure appearance for Rancho Relaxo. And that's all I would have been able to tell you, really. Like, I wouldn't have remembered a lot of the specifics about it. But yeah, that's why, like, for me, like, I was like 2, because I felt like it was very middle of the road. And if we're doing a scale of 4, half of 4 is 2, very middle of the road.
True.
But then the 0.1, because I do love my Troy McClure. I love Phil Hartman. I love Troy McClure. I just like anytime they trot out Troy McClure, I'm really happy because it's always something kind of kooky. He's always like, you may remember, like, no matter what he's filming, you may remember me from this, like,
yes,
and I always get a kick out of it. So, that's why the 0.1, Troy McClure bumped it up for me. So 2.1 is where I landed.
It is the lowest you and I have cumulatively rated an episode since we've been together.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
Not by much, but it is. Yeah. I need to title our scores list because I can only see what episode it is. I need to like put the episode title so I can get a little reminder. Before we go, if we want to share this on video, I got a couple new little guys. Sure. They're little. Look how tiny they are.
They'd be great. I love them. I love
them for Christmas. They've been just sitting there. My kids got them for me, so I'm excited.
Because they know
that.
you love the Simpsons.
Yeah, I literally before I was watching this episode before we got on, and Scotty walked in and said, "You love the Simpsons."
I like that you have a yellow mic thing on, like mic cover.
I literally, if you look back, I think I switched it to this when we started recording. I was like, oh, yellow would be perfect.
Yes.
It was purple before that, so.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you noticed. Thank you for noticing.
You're welcome.
But yeah, that is episode 50, season 3, episode 15, Homer Alone. We've got it rated. That's an average of 2.35 for y'all. Remember to find us on all the socials. We're doing stuff there. We're staying active. We're posting the scenes that we love from the episodes. We're trying to add a little bit of original stuff we're pulling from the show here, and we're recording stuff special now. That shit is, we're doing it. Kristen's putting me to work. But I mean, look, what subject matter could I possibly choose that would,
It's fun stuff. It doesn't it's not work if you're having fun.
It's true. Guys, help us get this taking off so I can do a movie podcast too. And then I'll be just like 100%. I'll be done. I'm good and set forever.
Pass the links around to your friends and be like,
listen to these idiots. Cromulent show. everything. CROMULENT. But it's right up here on the title of the show. You know,
Yeah, we could do scary movies because we both like scary movies.
dude, you're fucking speaking my language here.
There's a reason we're friends.
Yeah, 100%. So that is Homer Alone. That is our ratings. Kristen, is there anything else you'd like to add besides telling people to go find our socials and things in that matter?
Shh.